Alright guys, we just finished up a stand out here in Arizona. I get asked all the time for tips and tricks on what we do when we're coyote hunting. Whenever I do these little informational videos, a lot of you guys really enjoy the tips and tricks. So if you guys are either a beginner coyote hunter or an advanced coyote hunter, maybe there's some tips that you guys can learn in here. So the very first thing is stand selection. So obviously you want to be in country that has coyotes. Now how do you know there's coyotes in the area? First things first, there's got to be scat all around, turds, whatever you want to call it. So one reason turds are very important and you're going to see them in the roads is because coyotes are very territorial. So roads make awesome boundary lines for them. You'll notice that fences are the same. Now if you have a dog and you watch your dog run your backyard, you'll notice that he'll run along your walls a lot of times and he'll pee on the walls, crap along the walls and stuff like that, and that's him actually marking his boundaries. So coyotes are the exact same. Roads make awesome boundary lines, fence posts, washes like this. So if you're seeing a lot of turds, you know that there's a lot of coyotes in the area. There's also got to be tracks. And then you know there's a lot of coyotes if you're driving down the roads and even see them. So if you know there's coyotes in the area, you're already in an area for success. So tip number 2 is camo. Now everybody has their own preference on camo and their own opinions, but as far as being the most effective you can out in the field, you got to have a good set of camo. This right here is One Right Gear. Absolutely love it. But you can wear any camouflage company that you really are comfortable in as long as you think you can hide. Now I personally think that that is very important to be able to hide and not be seen. These things got amazing eyesight, especially if you're in spots like this in Arizona where there's the potential for like bobcats and stuff. Those things, they're gonna sit back, they're gonna look around, and if you're not wearing camo, you know, you're gonna stick out pretty easily. So we personally like to get them in close, and the easiest way to do that is just to make sure you got a good set of camo. So I hear it all the time too. People say that they'll go out in blue jeans and still kill a lot of coyotes. Headshot.
He just domed a coyote at like 300 yards.
Look at this. Look at this outfit.
Oh my gosh.
So now yes, they will get coyotes, but if you want to be the most effective that you can out in the field, a lot of world champions will tell you this, a lot of people that put down a lot of coyotes, just make sure you're wearing good camo. Don't be moving too much on your stands, and when you see a coyote, don't do any jolty motions. If a coyote starts running in through this valley, you know, I start panicking and moving quickly, he's going to pick up my movement, freeze, and you know, he's not going to get as close as he could have and maybe even turn it and book it. So make sure you stay still, kind of stay tucked away, hidden a little bit, and it'll increase your odds. So tip number 3, I'm going to be talking about the guns that I use to put down these coyotes. These coyotes are really tough. You want to put their face down in the dirt as fast as possible, and you don't want them to run. You want to be as humane as possible. They start running around, they're hard to find, and you just want to be able to make sure that you can get the job done effectively and quickly. So just make sure you have a good rifle. You know, any gun really works, you just don't want to go too small. So right here I've got a .223, perfect caliber for everything I need. It's easy on the fur. That's a big thing on rifle selection. It really depends on whether or not you want to save the coyote's fur. So if not, you know, you could use any of your old deer rifles, anything. But as far as coyote specific rounds, you know, 22 250 is good, 22 Swift. I got a .223 right here, actually hand loaded with 50 grain Hornady soft point super explosives. So you just want to make sure that you got a gun that is big enough to put them down quickly. And now for my shotgun, I got a 12 gauge Mossberg 500. I really like to run a shotgun because if you're running in really thick country like this, and even wide open country, you'll get coyotes that really hard charge you sometime and come in really fast, really close, and you don't usually have time to find them in the scope. And it's obviously hard. You know, I keep my scope on 10 power. It's hard to get them when they're really close in the scope and get a good shot. So when they're running around, they're coming in close in the thick stuff, I like to have a shotgun ready so I could pull it up and get a shot off really quick. Now I shoot double aught buck. That's my favorite. These are Hornady Magnums. I shoot double BB. You could shoot anything though. A lot of people shoot double aught buck. They shoot 4 buck. That's depends on your shotgun, depends on your preference. That will be left to you for a little bit of experimentation as far as chokes and stuff go. But I really like double BB by Hornady, and I use an improved cylinder. So another piece of advice is entering your stand and call placement. As far as walking into your stand, you obviously want to be quiet. You want to take note of the wind direction and be quiet. You'd never want the wind at your back, obviously, because the coyotes will smell you. It's always a good idea to set up where you can get a shot downwind, but if it's not possible, you always want it in your face. So what we like to do is we always set one person up where we're going to be sitting up for our stand, and then the other person will go down and place the call. So we'll go ahead and tell them where we like it, where we think we'll have the greatest chance at success, and then they come up and we hunt the stand together. Now if you're solo, it's always a great idea just to go set up your rifle, your shotgun, your chair maybe, where you're going to be hunting from, and then go down and place your call wherever you think's the best spot. As far as call placement goes, it's very situational dependent, as everything is, but in this situation right here, we've got the truck down that way, so I honestly don't think very much stuff's going to run from that way. We've been calling this way, so we think that most of the coyotes in this stand would come from this mountainside back in this wash area. So since I'm with the shotgun and it's close and I want to have a good broadside shot, when you have an e-collar and the attention is away from you, what we like to do is set our call down in the wash and get it in a spot where we think that coyote is going to come sideways and not look towards us. So in this case, I set it down there to my right a little bit. Once again, I don't think too much is going to draw out of that way. This way right here, if something were to come in, he's going to not be looking at us because we have our call down in the middle of the wash. He's going to be looking towards that call and most likely run right past us towards that call, giving us, just the perfect shot opportunity. We can't have a spot where we can look, 180 degrees like, you'd obviously love to. So my rifle here, that's the farthest right that I can shoot. I always like to set up where I can shoot the farthest right easy. Since I'm right-handed, I'll set up a little bit right to where I can pick up my rifle, shoot, and I can swing left easily. Now if I'm right-handed, for example, and I'm sitting this way thinking the coyote's going to come here, it's very hard for me to swing to my right side. So just little tips and tricks like that will help improve your success. It's very thick here in Arizona. If you'll notice, I'm sitting with my shotgun. This is another very situational dependent thing. I'm sitting with my shotgun in lap, my rifle to the side. If I'm in a very open stand, I will sit with my rifle in hand and shotgun to the side. It's something that you can toy around with, see what you like doing better. But when it's really thick like this, they'll come in close a lot of times, and I like to be able to get a shotgun shot first when they're close. And if they book it and start running away, I can easily switch to my rifle and get a shot at them farther away. So once again, call placement's just really situational dependent, because when I'm in really thick stuff, or even sometimes in the open, it just depends how I'm feeling at the time. I'll set the call just right here 5-10 yards in front of me, and I just want them running in, straight at me. Like sometimes I even like to hand call in the really thick stuff, just because when they're running at me, it makes it so much easier to get a shot off with the shotgun, because there's sometimes we're hunting spots where you can't see more than 10 yards, so you really need them to come right in on top of you. And then when we're hunting tournaments, we really like to have the coyotes come right in on top of us. Just makes it easier, makes it faster. And that's another time when we'll be hand calling and we will be putting the call literally almost right next to us. But you want to make sure that anywhere that you can shoot, you're going to be able to have the opportunity to put down this coyote. So another tip as far as calling goes, you always want to start off low. That's just in case there's any really close coyotes. Imagine if you're a coyote, just a few hundred yards down this wash, and I've got my lucky duck just blaring as loud as it can go right off the bat. It's not going to sound natural. So if you do that, you start off low, you slowly work your way up throughout the stand until you feel you're right about, as loud as you want to go comfortably. That will help increase your success. You can actually call in doubles, maybe even triples doing that. And they're not always together. Sometimes you'll call one in 2-3 minutes in, another one in 10 minutes. It's just little things like that that can help. Another thing is, if you have the opportunity to shoot suppressed, I would. I can't shoot suppressed right now. First of all, this rifle's not threaded. Second of all, I'm turning 21 in a few months, and then I'll start shooting suppressed. I've always heard that you will actually start calling in more doubles and stuff, so it'll be interesting to test it out. So another small piece of advice that makes your life a whole lot easier out in the field is just having a good chair. You see here, this one's a Sly Dog Predator ground and pound chair. This one's actually the Hidden Instinct model. I like repping Hidden Instinct because they're actually the ones that taught us the coyote hunt. But little things like this that you will learn to develop along the ways, and little tips and tricks just make your life a whole lot easier. Before I had a chair, we'd be sitting on our stands, and all day long, your butt starts to hurt sitting on the rocks, and then your back starts to hurt crouched over the whole time. So little things like this help you be able to just hunt all day in comfort. So as far as saving the fur on these coyotes, it's way easier to skin them fresh. Now I understand a lot of people want to take pictures of all your coyotes out. It is way easier to skin your coyote warm. So if you want to see some tips and tricks on how to skin some of these predators and even prepare the furs, go ahead and click this link right here. We also have a lot of older coyote hunting videos that give out a lot of great advice and different examples of stands and stuff. So if you guys are really interested in this content, go ahead and check out some of the older content. You never know, you might learn something that will help you. Also, let me know if you like this kind of video, you know, a little bit more educational, and if you'd like to see more. We've got some more hunting content coming out very soon. So if you are going to be out here hunting, just remember, be safe, be careful, have fun. Remember, this is a great time out here with family and friends. Always point your rifle only in a direction that you intend to shoot. Keep it on safe. Unload your gun before you get in the truck. Reload it before your stand. Trust me, you want to reload it. I've not done that a few times. And just have fun. Remember, this is the great outdoors. This is our land right here. I'm out on public land. This is my land as much as it is yours. So you can come out here and do this just like I am. Come have a great time. But other than that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you outdoors.